Please don't judge me. I was ready to go to bed, and guess what? We have some news. Them damn cowards are going to be in court tomorrow. They were supposed to go to court on the 16th. The court date was pushed back until tomorrow, and 12 indictments are going to be handed down. Shout out to Pix11 for keeping this story alive. I'm going to attach a link. Let me not lie. It's not no damn link. It's me taping my phone. Okay, it's the best that I can do. But I'm going to get this information to you. So they will be in court tomorrow. My husband told me that he heard that the guy that got away to DR has been cooperating. He's like a snitch. And he's been back in the U.S. for a week. I have not heard that. And sometimes I love him. My husband gets things all twisted. So do not quote me. Don't even quote him, because I'm telling you, I don't believe that. But he's saying he's heard that the guy from DR is back, because 12 indictments, because they wanted to wait for the guy from Connecticut to be returned so they could hand out all 12 at one time. So shouldn't there be 13? Shouldn't it be 13? I don't know. Or maybe he's included in that 12. So he's saying that he's been back in the U.S. and he's like getting this protective custody specialty treatment because he's kind of giving names or whatever. And it's a shame. You know, these people pledge their lives to this gang. And when you think of gang, all these cowards have to get together, like, you know, gang up on somebody, you know, and gang up on that one little boy. You know, they're not man enough to stand on their own, so they join a gang. Fucking cowards. Excuse my language, but it just angers me how they just took this boy's life for no damn reason at all. Don't get me started, and I don't want to get you guys started either. So stay tuned. I'm going to attach the video. And shout out again to Pix11, because they are keeping the story alive. They are going to be at that courtroom tomorrow. They're not going to be cameras inside the courtroom, but, you know, we'll hear something tomorrow about this, and then we'll see what happens from there, guys. Okay? Stay tuned, and hopefully, good night.
News on the case, the murder case involving 15-year-old Lisandro Guzman Feliz, known as Junior to so many of us. Tomorrow, we have learned, there will be 12 murder indictments unsealed in Bronx Supreme Court. The 12 suspects who have already been arrested over the last couple of weeks for the brutal chase and killing of Junior on June 20th outside that bodega in the Bronx on Bathgate Avenue. They are all going to be indicted, we're told, tomorrow in the Bronx. The very last suspect who had been caught in Connecticut, he was finally brought back to the Bronx today after an extradition hearing. His name is Luis Cabrera Santos. He will be in court tomorrow, so will the 11 others who were caught earlier, and you will hear the announcement of this indictment. It's not clear how specific the details will be when the murder indictments are announced. Sometimes they're bare bones. Sometimes the DA simply announces the results of the grand jury proceedings, and that's it. But we do know that not one of the 12 suspects who were accused in this murder testified before the grand jury. They waived their right to do so, and you know that they've all been taken to different jails in the city. Several of them have their own facility on Rikers Island, and they're in protective custody, and that's the way they've been for the last couple of weeks. I know from talking to one of my senior law enforcement sources that all 4 vehicles that were used in the chase of Junior on June 20th have been accounted for, they've been found, and that the investigators have identified all 4 drivers. Now, a lot of you who have been following this with me for the last several weeks, you've written to me on Facebook. I really appreciate the outreach. You've asked me, what about the 15 to 20 people that we initially heard about? Well, I asked my source about that, and here's what I was told. What I was told is that, yeah, that was the first count they were given. But when they looked at all the videos, and there are many videos out there, many of which I've not seen, when they looked at those videos and they did the count, they feel they have accounted for the 12 main people who were involved in the chase and the murder. Now, some of the suspects did the driving. Some of them that drove chased. Some of them just simply stayed near the car and prepared for the getaway after this was done to Junior. But there are 12 that are being held accountable. A lot of times you can be charged with murder as an accessory. You don't have to pull the knife and stab the person. In this case, there were several people who had knives, we're told, and one person had a machete. The fatal wound to Junior was to his neck. And we've seen that video, that heartbreaking video, so many times of him staggering inside the bodega on Bathgate Avenue, seeking assistance after he'd been stabbed, and he's being pointed toward a hospital that was like a block or two away. I have seen another video, which has not really been made public, although it has appeared online, and it's brutal to watch. Junior's dying moments on a sidewalk very near to the hospital on that night, June 20th of this year. So we are expecting tomorrow the formal announcement of the indictments. All 12 suspects will be in court. I had a sense that this was coming because on Monday, when they adjourned the hearing for several of the suspects and said that all would appear on Wednesday, I had a feeling that that was the day when indictments would be formally announced. The grand jury has finished its work. The indictments were sealed, but now they will be made public tomorrow, and we're hoping that we'll get more information on specifics of what happened that night, June 20th. But don't be surprised if the specifics are spare, because sometimes you don't really find out the details until a case goes to trial. We certainly don't know yet when there will be murder trials held in this case, but we do know the indictments will be handed down tomorrow. And so I'm sure there'll be a lot of interest. We will certainly stream any developments live on Pix 11 Facebook. We hope you will continue to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and of course on broadcast. Tonight we'll have some more information at 10 o'clock, and tomorrow, of course, will be a very busy day in the Bronx. We'll have reporters there covering whatever activity is going on in court and elsewhere. We thank you for following us all these weeks as we've tried to piece together this very delicate case. And in the Junior case, it was such a sad case of mistaken identity. We're told he was in the Explorers program with the NYPD. He told his mother that he wanted to be a detective since he was 5 years old. He was only 15 when he was killed. And what we learned early on was that there was a chase by one faction of the Trinitarios gang based in the Bronx, and another faction was being sought. And apparently Junior saw these 4 cars go by. He was out on the street. He got nervous, and someone yelled out the name Sunset. And when Junior started running, the assumption was made that he was a member of this rival gang, and that could not have been further from the truth. And so they chased him, and he went into the bodega seeking a haven, and then they came in after him and punched him and dragged him out. And you've seen that video too many times to really want to see it again. It's so sad. So we hope you will stay with us as we bring you more details on what's happening in this case tomorrow.